Welcome back. This video is going to be for Gemini, and we are going to see what the universe, wow, Gemini, and the Knight of Cups popped out. Somebody's coming in with a lovely little, it's a boat on turbulent waters, but looks pretty fearless to me. They got that coming in. Woo. So Mars is now officially retrograde as of the 30th in the sign of Gemini. Now this can mean a lot of different things, but right now it just means your air is going to be a little bit hot. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. You can use that, you can harness that energy and alchemize it to get a lot of stuff done, right? And with the planet in retrograde, you're going to be more on the reflective side of things, but it's still inner work that can be done. So you're going to feel a little bit stuck, a little bit stagnant, but use that time to process and kind of move through the energy of understanding that, hey, while I am a being in this universe, and these energies are coming in and affecting me, I have the choice on how I deal with them, right? This is just another opportunity that the universe is gifting me to go through some stuff, make sure I'm headed in the right direction, and make sure everything's clean and clear. Okay, so you got some fighter energy here with the Seven of Wands. This is the Tarot of the Abyss, by the way. And then you do actually, this deck doesn't have reversals, so I'm not going to use reversals. So you've got the Strength card. I love this Strength card. Like, that beast could rip her to shreds, but she's not worried. She knows that beast is her friend, and she's made peace. And they're both looking at you. So I love that. They're looking outward. They're not worried about each other. They've established that bond of trust, right? And they're looking outward to see what's there and assess the situation. So I think that's what you're being called to do here, is to kind of start hacking away at your passion, is what I'm getting. On a mental, the swords are not here. I got wands, I got cups, I got strength. But I feel like on a mental level, you're like, what am I really passionate? What am I willing to fight for here? Where is my passion? Where do I feel like I'm fearless and that I can take on the world? Okay. Go, Gem, go. Shoot. Oh, got the Death card. Now that doesn't mean something terrible. It just means that you're coming to the realization that something's not serving you and needs to just fall away. And you're going to it. You're doing the work. You're putting in the work. And then we got some pages of wands. Do we need to have a burning session? I think we might. Death is all about that, right? Death. Scorpio, Phoenix rising from the earth's ashes. Look at that. Her tree's alight. Even though her tree's on fire, she is walking with complete and total and utter determination. No fear, right? Rooted, blissful, constantly going up in flames and sifting through the ashes, finding what matters. Re-evolving into something. Re-evolving, is that even a word? What the heck? So revamping yourself into something that's going to really serve you. So when we think about ash is really good fertilizer, by the way. So we sift through the ashes to find those little beautiful golden nuggets, right? To understand ourselves on a deeper level, what matters and what's just going to burn away and over time, right? And that just becomes food for the soil, for fertilizer, right? So everything has a purpose. Everything has a meaning. So when we think about those things, even though, we might have to get a little emotional about letting those things go, we still have a purpose, and those things mean something. They were part of our journey for a reason. And we wouldn't be able to do the things we're doing now if we hadn't laid those bricks in that particular foundation in that particular way. So honoring the journey is super important, because it's not, you might get to certain breaks in your life, certain destinations, but it's the journey. It's the journey that is going to be your foundation for wherever you choose to stand, right? So honoring these processes of fighting for what you love, fighting for what you're passionate for, and having the courage to burn away the things that no longer serve. Okay. So the Knight of Wands, or the Page of Wands, I'm sorry. I think I'm getting like, because the veil is so thin right now, I feel like there's going to be a message. Okay, so some people in the world like to practice, there's probably a name for it, and I don't know what it is. Like to practice looking at flames, whether it be a candle flame or a man-made fire flame, to get certain divinatory downloads, divinatory messages. I don't know why this is coming in, but it is. So I'm just going to speak it because I'm being called to speak it. So maybe when you do start a fire or light up a candle or whatever you can do for yourself, even if it's just, you go to the store and buy a Bic lighter and be like, okay, don't burn your hand though. Maybe get one of those grill lighter things, right? And just, stare at the flame for a hot second. I know that a lot of people, like in India, like to stare at flames. Sorry, stepping out of my comfort zone. So divinatory practices are, you take what resonates and leave the rest, right? So if this doesn't sound like a good idea to you, you shouldn't do it. Don't do it if you don't want to do it. It's totally okay. You don't have to do it. I'm just spewing out right now. So in India, a lot of their practitioners, like if the person has like ADHD or ADD and they have the problem focusing, they'll say, okay, so set the timer for 30 seconds and stare at the flame for that 30 seconds and practice that a few times a day and do that for like a week. And then they'll say up it to a minute the next week. And then the next week up it to a minute 30 or 2 minutes, however long you can do this. I know it will increase your ability to focus on something, right? Because you're not focusing on the TV, which is huge amounts of download and programming, right? You're just focusing on the flame. So the flame is changing, so you can watch it. It'll keep your attention because it dances, right? But it's the ability to exercise that muscle, right? So there's nothing inherently wrong with you. You just might be overloaded with information and inundated with too much all at one time. And you feel like you have to constantly juggle those things, right? And you don't. You don't have to constantly juggle those things. We're not creatures of that sort of habitat. So I think, instead of pressuring yourself into doing that, maybe just try the flame thing. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And if it doesn't resonate with you, you don't have to. I'm totally cool with that. I'm not going to hurt my feelings. Okay. Highest good of all here. Helping out the collective during these transitional times. What else? What else for Gemini? This is the tarot of mystical moments. I do not have the blessed. I'm sorry. Mystical moment tarot. I don't have the box near me right now. Okay. So, magician. Transforming. Alchemy. A lot of people use fire for alchemy. So, moving into something that's going to be empowering you. Going towards the light. There's the moth on here. So moths like the light. And the swan is a creature of divine intelligence. Birthday hat. I'm getting like this is just it's like a magic is kind of like the gateway to the divine, right? She's got the white hat with the green ribbon around it on her crown chakra. So maybe this is your way to connect with the divine. I think I just said that like 5 seconds ago. I'm here today. Coffee! Okay, so 6 of Swords. Swords. I don't know, I like to say swords. So, this is one of my favorite cards in this deck. Because she's the storm, right? She's the storm moving through. She's at the center of it. She's got control of it. She sees her island, and she's like, I am going to put my anchor down whenever I find my dream, my goal. That's what I'm going to choose. So she's moving, she's navigating the waters. And if you look at this island here, it looks like a being laying in the water, right? With the arm right there and the silhouette. So it's really, really so symbolic, and I absolutely love it. So she's like, I think I'm going to let sleeping dogs lie. And I think I'm going to pass this particular thing over. And I'm going to move on to something that resonates more with this before I drop that. And maybe that's what you need to do with your alchemy. See things clearly, have the courage to call on it, and burn those things away that no longer serve you, and refrain from dropping your anchor where it's not going to do you any good. Then we got the 8 of Swords. Bring yourself. So you skipped the 7, which means you're not lying to yourself. Woohoo! Or, hopefully, no one's lying to you. Bada bang, bada boom, baby. Okay, so the 8 of Swords is just you setting yourself free out of that cage. Those mental, emotional restrictions you think you have that are no longer serving you can just be burnt away. I do that a lot. Things that no longer serve, I either burn, or if it's useful, I donate. I cleanse it and then I donate it, right? So it was a mental imprisonment thing, and you are arguing with yourself, but you have the courage to do this. Gem. I feel like you've been through way worse than this. I think this is going to be easy peasy, lemon squeezy, right? Make that lemonade. Make some lemon meringue. Make some... You know what? Don't make anything that's been made before. Make something of your own. Branch out, Gem. That's what I'm getting. Like, don't make anything that's been made before or that you've made before. Make something new with your lemons. Alchemize it into... Because that's where the magic happens, right? Is in the great unknown. That's where all of creation comes from, is in that place of... Right? That little like, you know, that little shove into the great unknown. That little spark of like divine help in the realms of like whatever it is you're doing, right? So somebody might say something that's semi disrespectful or semi just, you know, off-putting or down-putting or whatever it is. Use that heat, right? Use that fire. Use it. Light some stuff up and alchemize something that you didn't even know was possible. I'm getting the unknown here. I'm gonna pull an Oracle card. What does the universe have for Gemini? Is there a particular message, piece of advice, direction? What is in the highest good for Gemini? Cards. Okay. Air element. Mental energy. Those mental faculties are going to feel a little bit stuck. And that's for a good reason, right? Now, it's not for analysis paralysis. It is for understanding yourself, how you relate to the universe, how you relate to others, how you relate to your environment. This is super powerful because this looks like the moon, right? So that's your subconscious. That's the unseen, right? The unknown. She's got 6 little butterflies here. Flutterbies. So there's the butterfly effect. So remembering that what you put out into the universe will affect it in a major, major way. So that's, again, being part of the collective means that you have this power and capability to either cause harm or create positive change, right? So what are you going to choose to do with that, right? That's what retrogrades are all about. Everybody's like, oh, retrograde. I'm like, dude, this is the universe being like, okay, we're about to catapult you. Take some time and assess the situation so you can move forward in the best way possible. Okay, that's what this whole anything that's in retrograde is just the universe going, okay, babe, I'm gonna send you some energies in a little bit. Could you think about it just a little bit? Just think, sit, reflect, take some time, assess how you want to move forward with this, right? And that's all it's doing. Even though these energies are impacting us, it's not dictating our lives, right? We still have the freedom of choice how we move forward. Okay, I'm done preaching. Okay, I got the magical frog. So this is the universe kind of like asking us to connect with things and beings that we might be a little bit, what is this? But we're curious about, right? They might have lessons and messages for us that we need to receive. So getting ourselves out of that mental cage, right? Exploring the depths of the unknown, the depths of our psyche, the depths of subconscious, right? And getting a little intimate, getting curious, wanting to know more, right? Then we've got whispers of spring. So whatever this is going to take a hot minute. Now, I think Mars goes direct, stations direct on the 11th or 12th, depending on the hemisphere you live in. So the January 11th or 12th. So then it's going to be a hot minute before this actually accumulates. But this is giving you time, right? This is a good way to just kind of sit down and freaking really heave hold. Geminis are good at anything. Putting stuff together. Getting that web complete before they bring it to the collective. Feel the wind on a blustery day as it blows directly into your face and wisps your hair into the backward stream. Oh, I love that feeling. Notice what it feels like as it hits the different areas of your body. Feel how its current moves around your body and blows your clothing about. Hear it. Sometimes it seems as if the wind is voicing to you a stream of words as it roars past you. There is a mighty presence in the air, a great force. You can feel it as you brace yourself for its impact. This power is there for you to harness. Imagine yourself one with the wind. bolstered by its energy. Next time there's a strong wind, slip outside and just run with it. I have watched my cat do this. and it seems as if she's in a whole other state of being when she runs with the wind. She's exhilarated. Animals, like fairies, instinctively know just what to do. What would you like the wind to blow to you? Where would you like to blow you? Where would you like it to blow you to? The wind is a perfect example of the incredible power of the universe. Oh, ever powerful wind. This is a chant. This is like a little prayer and invocation, whatever you want to call it. Oh, ever powerful wind, embrace me in your rolling mist. Whisper the ancient words of magic in my ears, that I may harness your strength and power. In your billowing arms, you bring to me my good. So be it. Make a pinwheel today. So this is the fairy wisdom. And I don't know how to get that right on the blasted screen, but the pictures are beautiful. Okay, so we got 32, the magic frog. Number 5, movement. I have too many pages done. Okay. So the key word for this is child. Frog fairies know how to be childlike. They encourage innocence and imagination, and make us believe in miracles. If you have drawn this card, you are being asked to pay attention to that small child part of you. Nurture her or him, they, with playfulness and kind words. Praise her accomplishments. Let them splash in the mud puddles or sing a silly song. Let them giggle. Help them to find magic in everything they see. Lay off work a bit and take some time for joyful fun. If you have forgotten how to play, then just ask Fairy or remind a child or a small child to help you remember. They know what to do and will guide you every step of the way. Keep an open heart. Fairies and small children have open hearts. Believe. Visualize yourself holding your small self in your arms and singing them a lovely lullaby. Tell them how much they are loved and how special they are. Feel your hearts connecting as one as the child snuggles up against your chest. Visualize the healing of all tears and wounds as the energy just dissipates and the void is filled with a loving energy. Now the child is ready to play. Hop to it. This is the chant. I am the child within is me. Together we can once again begin to live and dream. We play beside a wishing well, we run amongst the reeds. We cast about our eyes to see beyond the troubled seas. No longer do we sit and mope about what could have been. Today we reach for the stars and shout, for we are all on the mend. So be it. Have a pillow fight with a friend. Okay. All right. Whispering of spring. Last one, Jum. In the spring, the world comes alive again with rebirth of color, sensation, and sunlight. Not even the spring rains can keep our spirits dampened. It is a favorite time for the fairy folk. There is so much for them to do. It is time when they are busy helping nurture new plants and young creatures. Spring is about growth. Visualize yourself in a bright spring day. Just breathe in deeply of all the fresh smells. Feel how clean the air is and how crisp with just the right touch of warmth. Smell the new blossoms that are blooming around you. Feel the freedom of going outside without a jacket or shoes if you choose. In the spring, there's a sense of anything is possible. There is no shortage of hope, bringing spring into your life whenever you need it. If you have chosen this card, and it is a good omen of hope and positive growth. What may have been stagnant now takes on a fresh momentum. You are starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel. Life is new and abundant, and you are ready to start again. Have confidence in yourself and your destiny. You are on the right track, At this time, you may be starting a new project, job, or study. Enjoy the journey. The chant is, I breathe the essence of spring into my body. I'm energized and made ready for the next step of my journey. I am filled with hope and I trust in my good. All is right in my world. So be it. Dig in the dirt today. So, yeah, we can, some of us can still do that. If we can't, just go get some potted plants or something at your local weird hippie store, like co-op or whatever you got going on. They usually have plants or flowers. Those are carnations, chrysanthemums, magnolia leaves, and eucalyptus. Yep, we got the Day of the Dead coming up. Yep. I used to hate the fact that I was born on the Day of the Dead, and now I'm absolutely in love with it. So, transformation is about, kids. We can do this. Have a gorgeous week, Gemini. Take care.